Good morning, students. Say your prayer. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book. Take page number 36. Today we will see non-Tamil sources. So, foreign accounts about ancient Tamilakam. In our previous class, we have discussed about the sources. So, the sources for the study of early Tamil society, especially our Tamil country sources. Okay, in today's class, we will discuss about the foreign sources that speaks about Tamilakam. Okay, in previous class, we have discussed about various sources that we got in Tamil Nadu itself. Yes, in our state. So, the sources that speaks about ancient Tamilakam. So, we got various. So, we discussed various sources. Okay, so just in today's class, we will discuss about non-Tamil, that is foreign account about ancient Tamilakam. So, in our previous class, we have discussed about the classical Tamil literature. So, the classical Sangam literature, Tolkapiyam, 15 மேல் கணக்கு 15 கீழ் கணக்கு and the 5 epics, and also we discussed about epigraphy. Okay, so in previous class we discussed in detail about the hero stones. Okay, so hero stones are memorials erected for those who lost their lives in battles and in cattle raids. Yeah, so we found the hero stones in various places, various sites of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so in Theni, in Pudukottai, in Thiruvannamalai, and in various sites we have seen the hero stones. Okay, especially we discussed about that Puliman Kombai hero stone. Yeah. Then we discussed about the inscriptions on pottery. Okay, so potsherds have been found in various sites such as Arikamedu, Alakankulam, Kodumanal, Keeladi, and many other sites in Tamil Nadu. Yeah, so most of the pottery so were written in Tamil and some are in Prakrit language. Then we discussed about archaeological site. Yeah, so archaeological site. So where the excavation took place in Tamil Nadu. Arikamedu, Alakankulam, Urayur, Kanjipuram, Kaveri Pumbatinnam, Korkai, Keeladi, Kodumanal, etc. Then we discussed elaborately about Arikamedu. So Arikamedu excavation. So then the Archaeological Survey of India. So it is a central government agency that manages archaeological sites and monuments in India. So Indian government also passed some legislations. Okay, so in order to preserve the archaeological remains in India. Okay, then we discussed about the material culture. So the material culture, so that shows, so Tamil people have industries. Okay, so ancient Tamilakam have industries. Okay, industrial activities took place. Then we discussed about coins. Okay, so in Sangam period itself, coins act as a medium of exchange. Then the Chera, Chola, Pandya coins we have discussed. So we have got the Chera, Chola, Pandya coins and also punch-marked coins. And the most important one was Roman coins. So Roman coins concentrated in the region of Coimbatore, Alakankulam, Karur and Madurai. Okay, so this shows that Tamil people have trade contact with foreign countries. Okay, so we discussed hero stones, inscriptions on pottery, archaeological site and excavation, material culture and coins in our previous class. Okay, so till now we have discussed about the sources that we got in Tamil Nadu itself. Okay, so the sources that we got in Tamil Nadu about ancient Tamilakam. Now in this video we will discuss about the non-Tamil sources, the foreign accounts. So the foreign accounts that mentions about ancient Tamilakam. Okay, so let us move into the lesson. Non-Tamil sources, foreign accounts. So non-Tamil literary sources also offer information on early Tamil society. So apart from Tamil literary sources, non-Tamil literary sources also offer information. So provide provide information about early Tamil society. The presence of the non-Tamil sources reveals. So reveals means something that will be explained which was hidden before. So something that was explained or understand that was hidden before. Okay, so the presence of the non-Tamil sources reveals the extensive contacts and interactions of the early Tamil society with the outside world. Okay, so the presence of non-Tamil sources so clearly explains, so make us to understand about the contact and interaction of the Tamil society with the outside world. So from these sources we can understand that Tamil people have contact and interaction with the outside world, so with the foreign countries, especially with the Western countries. Okay, ma? So what are the non-Tamil sources? So what are they? So first, Arthashastra. So Arthashastra, it was in North India. So it belongs to North India. So Arthashastra, the classical work on economy and statecraft. Okay, ma? So Arthashastra, it is a classical work. It is a old work that speaks about economy and statecraft. So statecraft means how to rule a country. So simply you can say how to rule a country. So Arthashastra speaks about economy. So it speaks about the economy of a country and also the kingship. So the kings, because how the king should behave, so how the king should rule his country was explained in Arthashastra. It was authored by Kaudilya. He was also called as Chanakya. Okay, so Arthashastra, the classical work on economy and statecraft, authored by Kautilya during the Mauryan period. So in India, so North India during ancient period was ruled by a famous empire called as Mauryan Empire. So Mauryan Empire. So already you have studied in your lower classes. Okay, so Mauryan Empire, Mauryan period. So during Mauryan period, so Kautilya wrote Arthashastra, so a classical work on economy and statecraft. It refers to Pandya Kavataka. So there is a reference about Pandya Kavataka. So what is Pandya Kavataka? It may mean the pearl and shells from the Pandyan country. So Pandya Kavataka means it may mentions about the pearl and shells from the Pandyan country. So Pandya, so one of the king of Tamil Nadu, so Chera Chola Pandya, one of the Moovendar. So Pandyan kingdom is famous for pearl diving. You know, no? Pearl diving. So Arthashastra, that refers to Pandya Kavataka. It may mean the pearl shells from the Pandyan country. Then Mahavamsa. So Mahavamsa is the Sri Lankan Buddhist chronicle composed in Pali language. Okay, so Mahavamsa, the Sri Lankan Buddhist chronicle. So chronicle means a narrative text presenting the important historical events in chronological order. So chronicle, so nothing but a narrative text. So which was telling about the historical events in proper order. So chronicle is nothing but a narrative text presenting the important historical events in chronological order. So chronological order means so arranging in a proper order. So arranging the events in proper order. So Mahavamsa, the Sri Lankan Buddhist chronicle, was composed in Pali language. So this Mahavamsa so mentions the merchants and horse traders from Tamil Nadu and South India. So Mahavamsa, which is in Sri Lanka, it is composed in Pali language. So it explains about the Buddhist religion. So it is a Buddhism religious textbook. So that mentions the merchants and horse traders from Tamil Nadu and South India. So Mahavamsa, the Sri Lankan Buddhist chronicle, which is composed in Pali language, mentions the merchants, that is the business persons, the traders and horse traders from Tamil Nadu and South India. So Arthashastra, then Mahavamsa. So both belongs to Indian subcontinent. So the remaining we are going to discuss that we got in European countries. Okay, so first the Periplus of Erythraean Sea. So Periplus of Erythraean Sea is an ancient Greek text whose author is not known. So the Periplus of Erythraean Sea is an ancient Greek text whose author is not known. The term Periplus, so Periplus is a Greek term, means navigational guide used by sailors. So the term Periplus means navigational guide. So navigational guide means, it is like a map. So like a route map. So it is. It mentions about the sea route. It was used by the sailors. So sailors means those who sails in ships, those who sails in sea. So in oceans we don't know any direction. But the Periplus of Erythraean Sea provides a guide for the sailors. Yeah. So Erythraean Sea. So what does the Erythraean Sea refers to? Yeah, the Erythraean Sea refers to the waters around the Red Sea. Yeah, so the Erythraean Sea refers to the waters around the Red Sea. So where is Red Sea located? Yeah, it located between Africa and Arabia, so Saudi Arabia. So in between Saudi Arabia and Africa, there is a water body. It was called as Red Sea. Yeah. So the Erythraean Sea refers to the waters around the Red Sea. It makes reference to the Sangam Age port. Yeah. So the Periplus of Erythraean Sea mentions about Sangam Age port, such as Musiri, Tondi, Korkai, and Kumari, as well as the Cheras and the Pandyas. Okay. So Periplus of Erythraean Sea is an ancient Greek text whose author is not known. So we don't know who was its author. So the term Eriplus means navigational guide used by the sailors. The Erythraean Sea refers to the waters that around the Red Sea. Then the Periplus of Erythraean Sea makes reference to the Sangam Age port. So what are the Sangam Age ports? Yeah, Musiri, Tondi, Korkai, and Kumari. And also it makes reference about Cheras and the Pandyas. Then Pliny's natural history. Pliny the Elder was a Roman person who wrote natural history. So Pliny the Elder. So Pliny. So he was respectively called as Pliny the Elder. Was a Roman who wrote natural history. So it was written in Latin. It is a text on the natural wealth of the Roman Empire. So Pliny's natural history was written in Latin language, and it speaks about the natural wealth of the Roman Empire. Pliny speaks about the pepper trade with India. So once upon a time, India was famous for pepper trade. Even Europeans came to India for pepper only. So initially came for India for pepper only. So pepper, it was grown well in Kerala. Okay, so Pliny speaks about the pepper trade with India. He states that it took 40 days to reach India from Ocealis near Northeast Africa. So he states that. So Pliny's natural history states that it took 40 days to reach India from Ocealis near Northeast Africa. So from Northeast Africa, it will take 40 days to reach India. How it possible? Yeah, if southwest monsoon wind was favorable means, then it took 40 days. Okay, so if southwest monsoon. So the southwest monsoon season begins in the month of June. Okay, so during this period, it takes 40 days to reach India. So from Northeast Africa. Then he also mentions that the Pandyas of Madurai controlled the port of Bakar on the Kerala coast. Okay, so Pliny mentions that the Pandyas, so Pandya capital was Madurai. So Pandyas of Madurai controlled the port of Bakar on the Kerala coast. So there is a port called as Bakar. So that was mentioned in Pliny's natural history. But the current name of Bakar was not known. So Pliny in his book Natural History mentions about the port of Bakar and says that the port was controlled by the Pandyas of Madurai, but the current name of Bakar is not known. Pliny laments the loss of Roman wealth due to Rome's pepper trade with India, indication of the huge volume of the pepper that was traded. So Pliny expressed his disappointment, expressed sadly that the Roman Empire wealth lost due to Romans pepper trade with India. So Pliny sadly expressed his feelings sorrowfully that the wealth of Roman Empire began to decline only because the Roman Empire had pepper trade with India. So Pliny laments the loss of Roman wealth is due to Rome's pepper trade with India, indication of the huge volume of the pepper that was traded. So it shows that India had, that is actually South Tamil Nadu. So South India had good trade contact. So good pepper trade contact with Roman Empire. So there is a large volume of pepper was exported to Roman Empire. So that leads to the loss of Roman wealth. So it was sadly explained by Pliny in his book Natural History. Next, Ptolemy geography. So Ptolemy's geography is a gazetteer. So gazetteer means that provides us geographical information. So gazetteer means a text that provides us geographical information, a geographical text. So Ptolemy's geography is a gazetteer and atlas of Roman time providing geographical details of the Roman Empire in the 2nd century AD. Okay, so Ptolemy's geography is a gazetteer and atlas of Roman time, which provide geographical details of the Roman Empire. So Ptolemy's geography explain about the Empire of Rome. So the geographical expansion of Roman Empire. So geographical details of the Roman Empire in the 2nd century. So some of the places mentioned in Ptolemy's geography were Kaveri Pumbatinnam. So Kaveri Pumbatinnam, it was mentioned as Kaberis Emporium. Then Korkai, it was mentioned as Kolkoi. Then Kanyakumari, it was mentioned as Comaria. Then Musiri, it was mentioned as Musiris. Okay, so in Ptolemy's geography, there is some reference. So there is some places that mentioned which was in Tamilagam. Okay, so the places in Tamilagam was mentioned in Ptolemy's geography. Okay, so Ptolemy's geography is a gazetteer and atlas of Roman period, which provide geographical details of the Roman Empire in the 2nd century AD. Okay, so the places, what are the places? Kaveri Pumbatinnam as Kaberis Emporium, then Korkai as Kolkoi, Kanyakumari as Comaria, and Musiri as Musiris. So these are the places mentioned in Ptolemy's geography. Then Pythagorean table. So Pythagorean table is an illustrated map of the Roman road. So illustrated map, that is like an imaginary map of the Roman roads. It shows the areas of ancient Tamilagam and the port of Musiris. Okay, so Pythagorean table is an illustrated map of the Roman roads. It shows the areas of the ancient Tamilagam and the port of Musiris. Okay. So in your book you can see a place called as Taprobane. So in your book you can see a place called as Taprobane. So if you have lens mist, just look at it. So Taprobane refers to Sri Lanka as island. So Taprobane refers to Sri Lanka as island. Musiris refers to the port of Mujiri. Okay, so Musiris refers to the port of Musiri. So Taprobane refers to Sri Lanka as an island. Okay, so you can see in the picture, no, a small island-like structure. So the map of Pythagorean table. So a map that was seen in your book in page number 37. So below that an island-like structure is there, no? So see that below that it is written as Taprobane. So they written in stylish way. So Taprobane, so it refers to the Sri Lanka as island. Then the port Musiri was referred as Musiris. Okay, Vienna Papyrus, a Greek document datable to the 2nd century AD, mention Musiris trade on olden days. So Vienna Papyrus, nothing but a Greek document datable to 2nd century AD. Okay, so Ptolemy's geography, it also written in 2nd century AD. So that was also belongs to 2nd century AD. Like Vienna Papyrus, it is also a Greek document datable to 2nd century AD, mentions Musiris trade of olden days. It is in the Papyrus Museum. So Papyrus, so nothing but you have already learned in 2nd lesson now. A type of grass. So papyrus, a paper produced out of the papyrus plant used extensively for writing purpose in ancient Egypt. So in ancient Egypt, papyrus plant is used for making a paper, which is used for writing purpose. So Vienna Papyrus, it is in the Papyrus Museum attached to the Austrian National Library in Vienna. So not Australia, it is Austria. So one of the country in European continent. So their capital city was Vienna. There a library is situated, Austrian National Library, in which a museum is attached. So the Vienna Papyrus, it is in the Papyrus Museum attached to the Austrian National Library, Vienna. It contains a written agreement between the traders and mentions the name of a ship. So the Vienna Papyrus contains a written agreement between the traders and mentions the name of a ship, Hermopolen. So it mentions a name of a ship, Hermopolen, and list articles of export. And listed what are the articles, so the things that are exported, so such as pepper and ivory that were shipped from India to the Roman Empire. So Vienna Papyrus, a Greek document datable to the 2nd century AD, mentions Musri's trade of olden days. So where it is, Vienna Papyrus? Yeah, it is in the Papyrus Museum attached to the Austrian National Library, Vienna. So it contains a written agreement between the traders and mentions the name of a ship, Hermopolen, and lists articles of export such as pepper and ivory that were shipped from India to the Roman Empire. Okay, students, in this class we have discussed about non-Tamil sources. So the Arthashastra and Mahavamsa, so that belongs to Indian subcontinent. But the remaining, so what are the sources we have discussed? Foreign accounts we have discussed. Periplus of Erythraean, Pliny's Natural History, Ptolemy's Geography, Pythagorean Table, then Vienna Papyrus. So most of them were belong to European continent, especially to Roman Empire. So Greece and Roman Empire. Okay, so we have discussed the non-Tamil sources. Okay, so if you have any doubt, contact me. Then today's homework. So take page number 50. Sand question. How important are coins as a source of evidence for the study of Sangam age? So 5th round letter, sand question. So answer, take page number 36. So right hand side you can see the heading coin. In that, starting from second point, the third line, the coins of the Cheras, the Cholas and the Pandyas and punch-marked coins and Roman coins form another important source of evidence from the Sangam age. Then second point, punch-marked coins have been found at Kodumanal and Bodinaikanur. Then third point, Roman coins are concentrated in the Coimbatore region and are found at Alagankulam, Karur and Madurai. So enough. So 3 points are there. So this is the answer for sand question and write it as your homework. Then for textbook reading, so take page number 37. Read the headings. Pliny's Natural History and Vienna Papyrus. So read these two headings. So stand up and read loudly. Okay, in tomorrow's class we will discuss in detail about the Sangam age. So till now we discussed about the evidence and the sources that we got about ancient Tamilakam. So what are all mentioned in that? So what type of polity, what type of government, what type of economy was practiced by ancient Tamil people, we will discuss in our upcoming classes. Okay, so thank you. So do your homework, read the homework questions regularly. Okay, so don't hesitate to ask doubt. So if you have a doubt, ask me. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.